Hey, what it do, world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man. Hey, like I told y'all, this right here is gonna be a little bit different. This right here is not about sports, but this right here is about the Alicia Andrews trial. Okay, the Julio Foolio murder trial of Alicia Andrews. Um, and right now we're at day 8, day 7 or 8 right now. So the trial is almost towards the end. They should be getting ready to do. They should be going getting everything done tomorrow. Closing arguments should be tomorrow. Today, the defense team brought their witnesses up, brought Isaiah, one of the accused murderers' mom up on the stand today, because the prosecutors are saying that her weapons was pretty much used in this murder, because her son got her weapons and used her weapons in the Julio Foolio murder. So they brought her up the other day, and it was horrible for her, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. This right here was one of the worst witnesses that I had seen. She refused to answer questions, which was a very bad look for the defense. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Just watching this trial over the last week and a half, I feel bad for Alicia Andrews, and I'm gonna tell y'all the one reason why is because she just had a child in jail. And that is the only reason I feel bad for her, because first, one, she have a child, and two, I don't even think she understand. I don't even think she understand what the hell is going on. Just seeing how she's acting in the courtroom, basically nonchalant, not showing any emotions. She pretty much just like, it is what it is. What's gonna happen. So I look at this right here. I could see this right here being a gender verdict. What I mean by a gender verdict is they give her a verdict based off her gender. Because let's just go back. Let's go back. Okay. When I look at this trial right here, the prosecutors pretty much has proven that she was involved in this assassination of Julio Foolio. Without a doubt, they've already proved it. They don't have nothing else to prove, but the defense is saying y'all still haven't proved anything. Y'all haven't proved that she was involved. Her phone was involved. Okay, the Airbnb was in her name. Okay, she and her boyfriend stalked Julio Foolio the entire night. So you're telling me that she knew nothing about this, but she slept in the same house as the killers the night after the killing happened. So, and this right here is what I'm saying. Like, let's just look back. Let's take this right here. Let's put it as a male. Let's say that a male went down here with his friends and this happened. Honestly, I think that he would already been guilty. I think that this trial right here would already been over with, because I think that he wouldn't have got the benefit of the doubt. She's getting the benefit of the doubt. They're saying that maybe she did not know, but I feel like she did know. And this right here was one of the sloppiest murders in the history of murders, honestly, to be real with you. Because when you look at something like this right here, they went down here from Jacksonville to Tampa, Florida, with one purpose, and that's to make sure that Julio Foolio did not leave Tampa. And I think that, and the more I think about this trial right here, the more I think about what happened, I think that they became desperate. I think that they became desperate of getting Julio Foolio because they had already shot him weeks prior, or months prior, and they didn't finish him. I think this right here was the one chance where they wanted to finish him, and they ultimately succeeded with Davion Murphy, and his cousin, his brother, Isaiah Chance, Gutter Zay, and Alicia Andrews. This right here was a hit squad. This right here was a team that went down here with one chance. Now, her defense team, who I feel like has been horrible in this, her lawyers has been pretty much horrible. Even one of her lawyers ended up getting into it with the judge yesterday, because I think the writing is on the wall. I think that they are desperate now, because they know the prosecutor offered her 18 years. And I'm not saying, like I said, she could probably still beat it. Yesterday, I was at like an 80-20% early in the day, but after yesterday, Detective Ramos came on. It kind of knocked me down to a 50-50. Now, after today, I'm right now at probably like a 65, 70, 30. Maybe 65-25. But that's where I'm at right now. I think that she still can possibly beat it. But I can say this right here: the defense, their witnesses today was absolutely horrible. They was horrible today. Her defense team was horrible. The witness that they brought on here absolutely did not do any justice for her. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. This young lady right here don't have no guidance. You can tell. You can tell this because I was telling somebody, I said, you know who her last boyfriend was? K Shorty. If nobody don't know who the rapper K Shorty is in jail right now being accused of what? 2 murders. So this tells me that she have bad picking, a boyfriend. She loved gang members. She's associated with a gang. And I think that the prosecutor pretty much, they explained it. They explained everything. They laid everything down. Do I think it could have been a little bit more? Do I think that it could have been better? Yes, anything could be better, but I think that they did an amazing job in breaking everything down on how she was involved all the way up until the murder. And this is the reason why I think the defense and these jurors have to think about when you go in there and you deliberate tomorrow, you have to think about this. How did you not know what was getting ready to go down when y'all have all these guns in the house? Everywhere that Julio Foolio went, from the clubs to the hotel, ultimately to the home 2 suite, y'all stalked him. Y'all called the killers. Everywhere that y'all was, the killer showed up there. The only thing about it is they came to get him at the first club, but he ended up leaving before. They came to the hotel. The only reason they didn't get him there is because they didn't want to get into a shootout with him and his friends, because that's where he had all his friends at. But guess who was out there in the parking lot letting the killers know where he was at? Alicia Andrews and her boyfriend, Gutter Zay. So how do you not know what the hell is going on? And I honestly think that right there is probably one of the weakest excuses from her defense team, is she did not know. I think that they could have came up with something a little bit better. But I will say this: they have played this out as she did not know. But if you just a law-abiding citizen, or you just anybody that know anything about law, or you just a regular person that just sit here and listen to this trial, you can honestly see the holes in her, in everything that she said. She's lied multiple times. She said she didn't know who Gutter Zay. She didn't know Gutter Zay by his name, but you got Gutter on your neck. So that was a lie. You said you didn't know that these guys were known gang members. Clearly, that was a lie. So you've lied multiple times in this case. And like I said, the prosecutors offered her 18 years. She turned down the 18 years to go to trial. And like I said, it might turn out good for her. She could possibly beat it. But me, I think that honestly, and when I look at all the trials that's happened, this trial right here is kind of like the Queso trial. I think that they have overwhelming evidence that she was involved in this murder, because you was the one who booked the Airbnb. All the phone calls that was made to the killers was from your phone. And I'm gonna tell you something: you did not want to testify against your boyfriend. And I'm gonna tell you that I think that right there was the ultimate mistake that she made by not testifying. I'm not telling you to be a snitch. She kind of held her own in that interrogation room. But I will say this right here: I think that right there was the ultimate mistake. Because do Gutter Zay really care about you? Think about this: he put his girlfriend, somebody that he supposedly loved, in a situation like this. What a real man would have done, if I know that I'm pretty much like, damn, they caught me, I'm done. What I do is I'm gonna say, you know what? For the kids, for you and the baby, I'll just say you had nothing to do with it. You knew nothing about it. But he did not do that. He making her go through trial, possibly getting a life sentence. Because if she's found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, that's a life sentence in the state of Florida, which I think she will be found guilty, honestly, unless something bad happens within these closing argument. But I still say that I think that them playing she did not know, I don't think it's going to play into the juries. I think the juries pretty much are looking at her like, I think that she knows more. She knew what was getting ready to happen. And also, and this right here is this right here is one of the biggest things. She was the one who, she said that she didn't know who Julio Foolio was. But you, after the murder, you are looking up Julio Foolio on your Instagram. It's records. She was looking up Julio Foolio on her phone after the murder happened. So, and like I said, a lot of people feel like, oh, they haven't proved that she was involved. Y'all don't understand what conspiracy to commit murder is. Conspiracy is. She's not being charged. Like first degree, I don't think they'll get her with first degree, but I do think that they're going to get her with conspiracy to commit first degree. And this is the reason why. When I lay this right here out, okay, think about it. It was her phone. She booked the hotel. She went down here with them. These young men was in this house with you, with all of these guns. You and your boyfriend went to 3 different places that Julio Foolio was at. Y'all made calls telling them, the killers, to come to these clubs, come to this hotel, come to this home 2 suite. And then after everything happens, you go back and you lay your head on a pillow with your boyfriend after y'all has pretty much got this man assassinated. And if you didn't have nothing to do with it, you didn't have nothing, because at the end of the day, we know that you heard the gunshots. You was there when it happened because you all called him and told him, you all called the killers and let them know where Julio Foolio was at. So then when you go home and you lay your head on a pillow, you go back to Jacksonville. Not only, if you didn't have nothing to do with it, why didn't you call the police? If you are a law-abiding citizen, why didn't you call the police and tell the police, listen, I know it's something about a murder. I was there. Listen, this right here is what happened. You could have got yourself out of it just like that, but you didn't do that. Not only did you didn't do that, you claimed that you didn't even know who these killers was, but clearly the police got video evidence of you with them. So clearly you got to know them. And then y'all was in sync. Y'all came down there together. They got camera footage. They got camera footage of y'all coming all the way from Jacksonville to Tampa, Florida together with those toll cameras. Every time y'all pass by a toll camera, that car right there that the killers was in, they passed by the same thing. So you all were traveling down there together. Guess what? You went to the Airbnb by yourself. You claim you was by yourself. But what they heard is that the killers went through the back way. So they could not be seen on the doorbell, the doorbell camera. But what they made, the ultimate mistake that they made was this. They got comfortable after the murder. Because guess what? You can see on camera that Alicia Andrews and all of the killers getting all of their stuff out of the Airbnb to get up out of there that next day. Now, let me ask you this, Alicia Andrews. I mean, this is for the people that feel like they did not prove enough. If Alicia Andrews was so innocent, right? Why didn't she call the police? Number 2, you left with the killers and went back to Jacksonville and lived your life. Yes, do I think that you saying something in 2021 is not really that important? It maybe is not. But with everything that they've proved that you was conspiracy to commit this crime, that you knew what was going on. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of it. And this right here, why I think that she can possibly get off with the gender verdict. This is Alicia Andrews. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. This is how this young lady has been the entire time in court. She's had this same face. Sometimes she's been smiling, but she's had this exact same face the entire time in court. Writing things down, coloring, whatever she's doing on that paper. But this is what she's been doing the entire time. She looked up for a minute and she looked right back down. She looked up for a minute and she looked right back down. She don't have no remorse, none whatsoever. Because guess what? She's a gang member, just like they're gang members. And I'm gonna say this right here before I get off, man. Is all of this starts from a gang in Jacksonville, ATK and KTA. ATK is ran by Ace's Top. That's ran by Young and Ace, the rapper out of Jacksonville, Florida. Do you all know that in the last 4 months, if this young lady right here gets found guilty, and the other 4 is found guilty, do you all know within the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months, because she's the first one up. The rest of them, I think they got so much evidence against the last 4 that she's the only one that got a chance to possibly get off. She's the only one that I feel like have a chance. The rest of them, I think that they're cooked. But this is the reason I'm gonna say this right here about Young and Ace. Young and Ace is a rapper, and he runs the one of the top gangs in Jacksonville. Now, while they're on trial, fighting for their life, Young and Ace sitting back, drinking cocktails and eating shrimp, eating seafood, chilling, enjoying his family. In this case right here, right, if she's found guilty, that would be 3 people from Young and Ace's crew within the last 3 months that will have a life sentence. And we ain't even counting the 4 that got to come in this case right here. So just think about this, y'all. Before I let y'all go, just think about this. If Young and if the last 4, if she's get found guilty and the last 4 is found guilty, that would be 7 people from Young and Ace's crew within the last year that have received life sentences. That is a crazy number. That is a crazy number. So what I want to say to y'all is, y'all need to think about what y'all are doing. Y'all need to really think about it. Think about, do you really want to make that mistake? Because there's a lot of things that she could have done different. It's a lot of things that she could have pretty much done to pretty much get herself out of this situation, but she chose not to. She wanted to stay loyal to the game. She wanted to pretty much stay loyal to her boyfriend, Gutter Zay, when Gutter Zay don't give a damn about you, girl, to be honest with you. Because if Gutter Zay gave a damn about you, he wouldn't even put you in this situation. But because he was so selfish that he allowed you to use your phone, he allowed you to book the hotel in your name. He allowed you to use your phone to call the killers and make them come everywhere that Julio Foolio was at, up until I feel like was a desperation moment. I think it was desperation, because I think that they had to get him out the way that night, because there's no telling when they were going to get another chance. This right was the best opportunity for them to pretty much get Julio Foolio. And I'm going to be honest, I think Julio Foolio gave up. I think he was done, because I just did not understand why he would post all of this on social media about his locations. And I said this once I seen it on Instagram. I listen to Julio Foolio. I like his music. His music is not bad to me. I ain't in the street, so I listen to it. It's cool to me. But I will say this right here. When I seen him post on social media that he would be in Tampa, I said, man, this right here is a free kill. These dude right here, either he's trolling or he's tired of living. Those are the only 2 things that I can come up with. Because why is a known gang member that's already been hunted for the last few weeks, but I mean few years, will put all of this on social media for them to get a free kill on him? And I think that right there was crazy. I didn't understand it. But in the end, this is what happens when you're in a gang. You can't live a regular life. You can't be regular. Ain't shit regular about you. Like me, I can go to McDonald's right now. I ain't got to worry about nobody. It's the world, so anything can happen. But I ain't got nobody hunting me. I ain't got nobody stalking me. And that's what I think people have to understand when they get involved in these gangs. That you can't be regular. You can't be a family man no more. You can't go out here and hang out with your family. You can't go out here and hang out with your kids and go take them to the park, because you're putting them at danger. So, and I think that this right here, what this is, I think that even though I feel like if Alicia Andrews win this case, I just don't know if that's a good thing for her safety. Because one thing I can tell you is that these dudes not going to stop. They just ain't. These dudes kill kids. They kill everything. They do not care. But I will say this. I think this right here, she have a good chance at beating it. I'm not saying she will beat it, but she have a good chance. Because like I said, she's in there looking innocent. She's in there looking like a normal, innocent young lady that don't do nothing wrong. But in reality, I think that she's a gangbanger. I think that she is a demon. Because sometimes I look at her and I look at her face or expression and I say, yeah, that's a demon right there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that honestly, I don't know if this is going to end well for her. I think that this right here, this possibly could end bad for her. And like I said, tomorrow it'll start into closing arguments. I think that her team is going to say the same thing. The prosecutors have not proved that she was involved. Have they proved it? In my opinion, they have 100% proved that she was involved in this murder, and she knew what was going on, and she did not tell nobody, and she just let it happen, and she was just going to go and live her life. So I 100% think that the prosecutors have proven their case. And her defense team, like I said, is one of the weakest that I've ever seen. Like I'm telling you, they like one of the weakest. And like she have a female and two males. They're all black. And normally I love to see the black, them to do their thing up there on that stand, do their thing in the courtroom. But in this case right here, I think that her defense team has been unprofessional. I think that they have been horrible. I think that they hadn't proved nothing. They're basically is making a case off of her sitting there looking innocent. And I don't think it's gonna work. But y'all let me know. Like I said, y'all got time tomorrow. Tune in. It's gonna be day 8, I think. Day 8 of the trial. Like I said, it should be wrapping up. The defense, they pretty much put all their witnesses up there today, which was horrible. And like I said, tomorrow morning they'll probably start closing arguments. And then I say around by lunchtime, the judge will probably dismiss the jurors and they'll go into deliberation and they'll pretty much come back with a verdict. Maybe tomorrow evening, depending on how fast this happens. Like I said, have they pretty much proved that she was involved in the murder? They proved that she was involved in the murder. Like she knew that it was happening. So, but did they prove that she was just, a part of the planning process? I don't know, man. She's been doing a lot of lines, so I don't know how the jurors, it'll sway the jurors. Like I said, all jurors, they're regular they're human beings. But I do think she might be in for a long weekend. But like I said, she could be in for a good weekend. You never know. But hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Until next time, man. Thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle Podcast with me, Ray Diggs, man. Until next time. Somebody right here saying that I don't believe they convict. I haven't seen enough. Bro, I like I said, we all have our own opinion about it. Like I said, I think that they have proven enough. I think that they have, without a doubt, proved that she was involved in this murder, just like the other 4. But like I said, man, you say that, I don't believe they convict her. I think that they're gonna convict her. I think that I've seen less evidence and somebody get convicted than what they have on her. I've seen less. So like I said, and also, man, I just think that by the lying that she did, I think that is a reason why it's hurting her so bad. But like I said, if you believe her defense team, I really don't know, man. I haven't seen nothing that her defense team has brought up that makes me believe that she's innocent. Like nothing, not one thing that they have brought up. And like I said, you have to think about it for yourself. A person can go all the way from Tampa, go all the way from Jacksonville to Tampa, and not know what's about to go down. A person can go all the way from Jacksonville to Tampa, and y'all going from parking lot to parking lot. Y'all not even going in the clubs. Y'all just calling the killers, and everywhere y'all show up at, everywhere y'all at, the killers show up. And then ultimately, with the last place y'all was at, the shooting ended up happening, and this man lost his life. So I don't know how much more you have to prove than that. I mean, if she's innocent, then that means Gutterzay is innocent. That's just my opinion. Like, and I've been saying this from the beginning. I said that if she's innocent, then Gutterzay is innocent. Which we know that he's guilty. And I think that a lot of people get caught up on the cute face and they be like, no, I mean, man, they ain't proved enough, man. They proved more than enough. They proved way more than enough that she's guilty. And like I said, you go all the way from Jacksonville to Tampa, and I'm gonna tell you this right here, and I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be the last thing I tell you. Deron Beasley. If you don't know what's going on, let's just say she don't know what's going on, but you standing outside and you see all these bullets flying, but you still don't know what's going on. You go in the house, you see all of these guns laid out on the floor, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, but you go back down and you telling me that they ain't talking about this. And even after the murder, you're looking up, you're looking in your search, you're looking up Julio Foolio. For somebody that you shouldn't care about, why are you looking up this man Instagram? That's kind of weird, because she was looking up to see did they get him? Did they get him? She wanted to see, because one thing people know about Julio Foolio is this: he'll go live. He would have went live if he was still alive. So she had to go on there to confirm, because they wasn't saying nothing at first. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. They did not confirm that he had got killed until later on that day, around about noon. So she was the one that was going on there trying to see did they get him or not. Then on top of that, you go home, chill, y'all go to bed, you and Gutter Zay, y'all go back, y'all leave, and y'all go back to Tampa, y'all go back to Jacksonville like nothing happened. Without a doubt, they have already proved that. They've already proved that she's guilty. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Deron Bees, I'm gonna tell you, if that was a male that was in the same situation that Alicia Andrews was in, he would have 100%, he would have been 100% guilty. It ain't no way that they would have been like, he did not know. Clearly he know. Clearly he knew what was going on. So that's just my opinion, man. Like I said, it's gonna come down to the judges, to the jurors, and you just never know when it comes down to juries, man. Juries, they dumb as fuck too. They don't really know nothing. And all you have to do is persuade one. And this is a jury of 6 and 6, so it's 6 males, 6 females. So you just never know, man. I think she got a good chance. I said that at the beginning. I think she got a good chance to beat it, but I also think she have a bigger chance at losing this case than winning it. And that's why I think she'll most likely get found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, and then they'll probably sentence her to life in prison. But like I said, the jurors have to be the one to deliberate this. And the longer, I can honestly tell you this right here, if they go in there in the deliberation and they come out in probably about 2 hours or something fast, it's probably going to be a guilty verdict. It's probably going to be a guilty verdict. So the longer they take, the more you know that somebody in there is hung. But all she got to do is persuade one person. And like I said, it's 12 people on there. So you just never know, man. And yeah. But hey, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diz. Until next time, y'all, peace.